Every Christmas morning at 6 a.m., my brother wakes me up. He runs into my room and quickly jumps onto my bed. He then yells in pure excitement that Santa came and left presents for everyone. Next, he shakes my body and tells me to get up, Teresa, Santa came, get up. After his invasion of my room, he quickly goes and wakes up my mom and my grandparents. We all slowly wake up and find him sitting in the middle of all the presents, quickly rubbing his hands together in pure joy. My brother is 22, and he has Down syndrome. I'm sure you've all seen someone with Down syndrome in either your elementary school classroom, in the halls of your high school, or working at various jobs such as the grocery store or the movie theater. Some of you have even developed relationships with them and already know how kind and friendly they are. Today I want to explain to you the quality of life, causes, and physiological and physical differences of someone with Down syndrome. Someone who's born with Down syndrome lives a pretty normal life. They're all able to hold jobs, go to school, live on their own, participate in social activities, fall in love, and get married. And in some advanced cases, they're able to read and drive a car. Despite the fact that children with Down syndrome are slower at holding a cup, using a spoon, and washing and dressing themselves, they're still able to participate in childlike activities. For example, watching children's TV programs, listening to stories, playing outside with their friends and siblings. Here's a photo of my brother in elementary school. He won the Best Helper Award. So despite the fact that he has Down syndrome, he's able to participate in class and help others clean up and stuff. When they reach the age of 22 or when they're done with high school, they're able to hold jobs in supermarkets, movie theaters, fast food restaurants, and places such as Target. I read a story about Jerry Maxson, who has Down syndrome, and he talks about his job. He states, "My life is full because I have a job I love. I work Monday through Thursday. I get up early, get ready, and always put on my necktie for my necktie collection before I walk to the bus stop. I'm a courtesy clerk at Port Pavilion in the Bay Beach." So even though he has Down syndrome, he's also able to have a schedule and show up on time and participate in society. They usually have an amazing outlook on life, and according to Susan Gallup, they bring out the best in people, which I agree with 100%. They have no trouble accepting anyone, and they're the most compassionate people in the world. Here's a photo of my brother at bullshit events, at a basketball game, and at high school dance. They're able to do the same thing that high school students do, so they're able to have social lives just as well. Now that you know about people with Down syndrome and quality of life, I'll explain to you the causes. The cause of being born with Down syndrome is because one of the parents carries the Down syndrome gene or that the mother is older in age. Having Down syndrome means you have an extra 20 first chromosomes, so instead of having 2, you actually have 3. Right here. Let me move this slide. Kind of hard to see, but right here is there's 3 of them instead of 2. The chromosomes in your body control cell division, growth, function, and holds your genes. So having an extra chromosome throws off the development mentally and physically. The mother or father could be the carrier of the gene, meaning that either the sperm and the egg already had an extra chromosome together, which they didn't split apart, so they just stay together. So when the sperm and the egg mix, there's actually 3 because another one is mixed together. So that kind of throws it off. Also, when a mother retires age, she's at risk of having it. According to Cliff Cunningham, a mother's eggs have been exposed for many years to the possibility of injury or damage from environmental factors such as irradiation, chemicals, and viruses. Also, the loss of the mother's eggs are allowed to ripen and may be inferior. Inferior eggs in aging, environmental factors act together to produce trisomic cells. Here's a chart of how old you are, so the chances of having a child with Down syndrome. So if you're 20, you have 1,476 chances. My mom, who was 26 when she had my brother, had 1 in 1,285 chances. And as you can see, right when you jump down to age 51, you have 1 in 25 chances of having a child with Down syndrome, which increases as you get older, the age definitely increases. to cause them for me about the physiological and physical differences. Some of the physiological differences they have is that they have an increased chance of developing thyroid disorder, and also due to their slow metabolism, they have an increased chance of gaining weight. Also, people with Down syndrome aren't very active, and they basically eat whatever tastes good. They don't really worry about nutritional value or anything. For example, my brother's diet consists mainly of pizza, hamburgers, fries, chips, root beer, and like cheesy quesadillas, so it's not very healthy for you. And some other physical differences are that they have slanted eyes. You can see in both pictures that his eyes are a little more slanted. They have small mouths with large tongues. They're normally short in stature and have thick bone structure. This kind of shows like the stature. Their ears are smaller and lower set. Both of these pictures, and you see like the ears are a lot lower on the head than someone with Down syndrome. Their hands are usually broad and flat. You can kind of see his hands right there a little bit. And with short fingers, and there's usually a large gap between their big toe and the rest of their toe. Today I talked about the quality of life for somebody with Down syndrome, along with the cognitive and physiological and physical differences. Despite the differences, they can be compassionate, happy, full of joy, just as my brother is every Christmas morning.
So, Kevin, what did you think?
Okay. The attention device that you used is very good. I like the story that you used. It's very, especially at the last part where you kind of explained that you're better at Down syndrome. Really hit home. Your speech is very well organized and your transitions are really good. I think you need to cite your sources a little more, especially when it causes and physiological disorders. Most of your, or all of your visual materials were pertinent to what you were talking about. One thing that was kind of helpful was the chart. I couldn't quite see the statistical data on that. But yeah, you had a really good conclusion to it. It's very good.
Well, they all like your oral evaluation, too. Let's see if I can get this done in 2 minutes or less. I like the introduction a lot. I thought it was really effective at leading into the topic and getting us to care about what you're discussing. I like the way that you use the picture to also kind of help you transition into the topic. It identifies what you're doing there. The thesis, it's pretty solid. You've got all of the ideas laid out in the structure, so I think that's very good. Your personal justification for talking about it is easy. I think you could maybe give us a little bit more statistical information to justify why everybody ought to be more aware about this sort of thing. Your descriptions are excellent. I'd agree with Kevin about the source citations. I heard sometimes that you were quoting people, and I was not sure whether they were people that you encountered who have family members this way, or if it is somebody who has Down syndrome. And there's one person I wrote down, Cliff Cunningham, and I just put a question mark at who is Cliff, and did they write an article? Are they a doctor? Are they a therapist? Are they a family member? You don't get any of that kind of thing. So I think you need to do a little bit more of that. Organizationally, it's pretty solid. I think the transitions need to be a little smoother. It's not that they weren't clear, they were clear, but maybe a bit more graceful. Sometimes it just seemed like we were hitting the stop sign and then moving to the next thing, and so that just takes a little bit of practice. It sounded very good, I thought the speech did. The visuals, I liked all of the visuals. The one thing that I would point out that was problematic is the same thing Kevin pointed out. The table that you have out of the book is hard to see from this part of the room. This would be one of those things where you might want to photocopy it, enlarge it a little bit, or maybe even redo it, for instance, on the computer and copy out the numbers so it's big enough to see. Because the numbers, they're just hard to pick out. And he's further back and I'm old, so maybe it was fine for people in the front row, but for everybody else it's a little problematic. And I like the conclusion of the speech also. Sugar.